What's up, beautiful besties? Welcome back to Turning Tides Tarot. My name is Alishia. Thank you all so very much for friggin' being here with me. Y'all are seriously the best, okay? Thank you everyone who's been sending the well wishes. I was missing MIA for like a week. I had a pretty bad head cold. Still lingering a little bit, but we're here because I freaking miss ya and I really need to see what's going on with our tribe, all right? All right, so if you're new here and you like my vibe, don't be shy. We would love to have you join us here in the Good Vibe Tribe. That being said, let's get to it. I'm going to bring the sound bowl. We'll call in spirit and just see what is going on. What's the vibe for our tribe? Here we go. I'm calling on spirit with so much love and so much gratitude. I ask for divine guidance as I interpret these messages. May they help us all on our journey towards our highest and greatest good. I'm asking for love, joy, peace, abundance, and protection for myself, for you, and for all beings on the planet at this time. Thank you so much, spirit. Okay, so while I was reading the sound bowl, I kept hearing the word sunset. And it's funny because I was like, maybe that's spirit reminding me to let y'all know. Check out this beautiful sunset behind me. Hopefully it's working out. There's a friend of mine in the town I live in who runs a channel here on YouTube called YukiTube. And he features all kinds of beautiful landscape from, where we live. Okay, so it's great. If you want to go check out their channel, I would totally recommend it if you want to see this beautiful space that I call home. Anyways, so yeah, sunset. But then there was something else that came through. And I feel like it's totally apropos because as I was thinking about the sunset, I was like, the sun is setting on something in your life. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, like, there is an end of an era, and I feel like the sun is setting. There's a chapter that's closing. There's a story that's ending here for you. And it's like, you can really feel this beautiful energy bubbling up of like the dawn of a new day, right? It's actually giving me 10 of Swords energy, okay? But in the good way, because we can look at the 10 of Swords, and I know like we're not even talking about what's come out here. We can look at the 10 of the Swords, and usually we see like somebody, with all 10 swords in their back, and they've been betrayed and things have been really difficult. But there is a positive spin to that energy. You always see like on the horizon, you'll see like a sunset a sunrise, I mean to say. So you'll always see a sunrise, which is really talking about the worst being over in a situation. So when I was thinking sunset, I was like, okay, the sun is setting on a certain era in your world, a certain chapter, a certain story in your life, and it's all about the new day for you, okay? It's all about the new day. So it's really just like apropos what's coming through and the visual we have going on here, okay? Now we have something that a pile of cards that flopped out right away while I was shuffling, and it's the Six of Fire, right? The Six of Fire, this is talking about success, right? It's the Six of Wands. It's all about overcoming challenges, right? Because the Five of Fire is here too. And the fives are all about challenges, right? So we're going to read the messages that come through on the cards. We also have here the Eight of Water, okay? We've got a lot actually that fell out of the deck. So I see here for you that you have had to walk away from a certain situation. You've had to you've let someone go or something go. You've allowed, I want to say you allowed it to happen. But really, the sun was setting anyway. It was kind of out of your control. It's not like you could have slowed down this closing of a chapter that's been happening, But you've come to a period of acceptance that it's over, that something has ended, right? And I feel like you've had to emotionally walk away from it. Like you've had to detach yourself from a person, a place, a situation, like an era. Even like when you think about yourself, maybe it was like a version of yourself, right? You've had to let go a version of yourself that just no longer vibes, right? with where you are right now, because as we grow, as we heal, as we, evolve, we are always constantly changing, right? And sometimes we have to let go of who we thought we were, or what we thought we may be doing, or with who, or where, or what. Like I said, it feels like there was a little bit of a painful ending, but again, you're in this period of time where you are focused on the next, right? Focused on the new, and you have successfully overcome quite a few challenges here. And I feel like the biggest part for you, the biggest challenge would have been letting go of someone emotionally. Okay, and that's what I'm seeing. I don't even need to read the messages on the cards. I have here the 4 of Earth, the 5 of Earth, and the 9 of Air. Okay, so this tells me, at one point in time, like I said, this is the ending of a very difficult situation here for you. And I feel like for a long time you were maybe holding on to it, or it's like trying to fight. I keep seeing like somebody trying to like yell at the sun and say, don't you set on this. It's not over. I'm not finished. Trying to go against the divine will in a sense, right? Trying to hold on to every last little, ray of hope in a situation, which, I feel like you realize that all it was doing, like fighting against this inevitable ending. Okay, like I'm going to talk about it. All you were doing was creating more like chaos and maybe panic or anxiety in your world, a lot of like negativity in your mind and your mindset, focusing on the thing that was supposed to leave your life. The sun was supposed to set on a certain situation. And so I feel like you finally come, like I'm not trying to say this is like super negative reading. I feel like it's very positive because you finally come to this point of accepting that there's nothing you could have done differently. There's nothing that you could have, you couldn't have done anything to stop the sun from setting on the situation. Okay, so it's out of your hands, right? It's out of your hands. And I feel like a lot of you have finally successfully come to this realization that, you know what, it's just not for me. Okay, whatever it is, it's not for me. And I feel like that's just an overall vibe. So I want to get into like, why are we here? Why are we in this moment? What's around us right now? Where are we headed, right? What do we expect to happen? What are any challenges? What do we not expect to happen? Any kind of advice? Look at this. The 6 of Wands again, okay? 6 of Wands again with the Wheel of Fortune. This is beautiful energy. This is like you finally have accepted your fate, your destiny, right? And you're ready to move forward on it, okay? So whatever it was that you were fighting so hard, like to not have leave your life, right? Whatever that was, whatever you're holding on to, it wasn't supposed to be a forever situation. It wasn't supposed to be a forever version of yourself or a forever partner or whoever or whatever. This is for you because it's general reading, right? It's going to be a little bit different for everyone. But the overall vibe here for everyone is that you have successfully overcome this. You may have finally gotten over some type of cycle in your world as well, or broken a pattern. Could have been like a generational pattern as well, like generational trauma I'm hearing, but it's mostly like a pattern within the self. Maybe you've had to like, Spirit's given you many different lessons and many different, like the same lesson in many different forms along your path, and you've finally conquered it. So this is an energy we're celebrating. And I feel like you should be celebrating yourself for having accomplished this. And you feel like, okay, now I'm ready for, again, that next chapter, that next story in my life, that next experience, right? So you've really accepted your fate in a really good way. Like you finally are looking at it like, I cannot wait for, what's coming in next for me, right? And what's coming in next, which is really awesome, is the Page of Wands. So you expect to hear some excellent news. You expect to be celebrated. Some of you may even be thrust into some type of spotlight. You may not even realize it. You are being celebrated here, like on earth, you know, just like yourself, right? Like by yourself, by your peers, by your family, whatever. But it could also be from like a larger audience. People are celebrating you and your success. But I feel like it's also your guides, okay? Or like the angels, the heavens, you know, spirit team. You are being celebrated all the way around for overcoming. I'm just seeing like a whole freaking audience of people being like, yeah, we're so happy for you. Like, you have people and your spirit team, you have people rooting for you. It's like, you may have had, you know, I just heard like spirits like gave me a situation like, you know how it's like, okay, you could have a group of friends who've been telling you something over and over. It's like, okay, let this person go, or let the situation go. Quit your job. You're unhappy there. This is not meant for you, or something like, and then when you finally do it, everybody's like, yeah, okay. So that's kind of like what it feels like. And so now that you have actually accepted this ending, whatever this is, right? You've accepted the ending, you've moved forward, you expect nothing but good things to come your way, and this is what I see happening for you. Okay, so let's see what's coming towards you, what you expect. 10 of Cups, look at that. You know it. I feel like you finally, like, I don't want to like be rude or anything. It's like you finally woke up to the fact that you deserve better, or there's something better out there waiting for you, okay? The 10 of Cups is like your ideal. This is your happiness. This is your joy. This is what you expect. You expect to align with something that like is just much better. I feel like your expectations for yourself have been like completely up. You've been upgraded, right? And just, I feel like celebrated too, right? People can see, okay, we have this Hierophant as well. What you don't expect. You don't expect your influence on others. Like, okay, you don't expect to be so influential on others, okay? You don't expect that your trials and tribulations, or you letting go of something, or you allowing this change to take place, or accepting your fate, accepting your destiny, you know, that kind of a thing that we already talked about. You don't expect how much it's going, the ripple effect that it's going to have, okay? You just don't understand. Like, there's something here. It's like what you're doing is going to ripple out throughout like freaking humanity. Okay. It sounds like really big. It sounds like, are you serious? Like, yeah, I'm serious. You are having such an influence on others. You have no friggin' idea. And I feel like you are aligning with, you know, what it is that you are being called to do, right? Because with the Wheel of Fortune, it's fate, it's destiny. Okay, this is you finally. I'm hearing the word finally, so I'm not trying to call you out, but I feel like it's your spirit team saying like, finally, you know, you are in alignment with what it is you're meant to be doing. You are in the right place. You are in the right time. You are doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So congratulations. Like, I'm proud of you. Your spirit team's proud of you. Your people, your tribe is proud of you. You should be proud of you too. Okay. So yeah, I mean, there's some feelings that will, you know, come along with watching, you know, the end of an era. But at the same time, I feel like you are being extremely celebrated. Here's that 8 of Cups coming up again, talking about having to walk away or abandon it emotionally. You know, we always do so in order to, we know something's missing, right? When we have to let go of something, we know that something isn't for us. We know that something's missing, even though we may have, you know, tried really hard to get to that place, or maybe we spent a lot of time trying to make something work, and it's like, it wasn't easy, right? And so you've poured a lot of your heart into it, and I understand having to abandon something like that, but it's always like such, let me just put it this way, you get rewarded highly for doing it, because it is something that is very challenging, right? It's a very challenging thing to do. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can put themselves in that position to be like, look, I am important, you know, which is very sad. Because we're conditioned, society conditions us like to put ourselves last, to put our joy last, to put our needs last, you know, from the day we freaking whatever start walking and talking, we're put in schools and institutionalized so that we can get ready to work for, you know, whatever, to be wage slaves basically, and accept that fate. But this is not what this is. This is you leaving that kind of a, conditioning and putting your joy first and putting your calling first and putting, doing something that's different. Like, that's why I said not everybody can do this. And that's why you are being rewarded. So you will be rewarded, and you are being rewarded, okay, for that effort, because it's you are influencing others and letting other people know that it's possible. Okay, so I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. This is big news, right? And spiritually, it's big news, because this is like, okay, we're waking people up, we're shaking people up, we're, people are waking up from the matrix, that kind of thing, right? So yeah, I mean, like, you're kind of like, I'm seeing someone here who's like letting the sun set on their old life, their old values, old morals, old beliefs, old way of being. Like, it's pretty major here, okay? And you are stepping into this new day, this new era where, you put yourself first, you put the joy, your bliss first, you're following your bliss. And if you listen to any kind of like spiritualists, or people who speak on the law of attraction, or there's someone in my mind here, and I feel like they channel, and I have one of their decks. Is it Esther Hicks or something like that? Maybe I should pull that deck out, because I have it here. Anyways, it's important for some reason. It's coming up. And they always speak to like follow your bliss, right? Follow your bliss. And there's more to it than that. But I have a deck, and it's Esther something Hicks. Like, I don't know. I'm not really good with names and remembering people, but I'm going to pull from this deck here, okay? And it is about getting in alignment, like, with where you need to be, and spiritually you will be supported, and getting in alignment with what it is that you truly desire in your world and how to get there, basically. So you may want to look up, I don't know if that's coming through for a reason. If anybody knows, like, am I saying it right? Is it Esther Abraham? No, there's an Abraham in there. Abraham Hicks. Esther something. Anyways, it's a woman. She channels, and I don't know. It's great information. Anyways, okay, here we go. This is it. Look at this card that come up. Okay, this is going to help me illustrate the influence that you are going to have, or that you do have on others. I feel like it said, my slightest improvement is of such great value. My slightest improvement is of such great value. And that's the thing. Like, even though it feels like this is a huge improvement, I feel like, for you, but even your slightest improvement is of such great value. Okay. There is tremendous value when you are able to deliberately cause even the slightest improvement in the way that you feel. For even in that small emotional improvement, you may have regained a measure of control. You no longer feel powerless, and so your trek back up the emotional scale is now not only possible, but is relatively easy. Okay, so this is you actually attaining the happiness that you felt perhaps was so out of reach for you. And I mean like true bliss, joy, bliss, your ideal happiness. This could just be speaking to even an attitude, right? An attitude adjustment, I just heard. But yeah, okay, so this one came up too. When I reverse the thought, I reverse the condition. Okay, when I reverse the thought, I reverse the condition. So y'all have been checking yourselves before you wreck yourselves, okay? And even in your thoughts. This is a mindset for some of you, okay? Which is awesome. And your spirit team is celebrating you for doing this change. And even though you think it's maybe just a little change, it's actually has such a huge freaking effect in your own life and in inspiring others. It's pretty awesome here. I'm pretty pumped for it, okay? There is no condition so severe that you cannot reverse it by choosing different thoughts. However, choosing different thoughts requires focus and practice. If you continue to focus as you have been, to think as you have been, and to believe as you have been, then nothing in your experience will change. Basically, in a nutshell, if nothing changes, then nothing changes, right? So at the very least, whoever I'm reading for right now has done a tremendous transformation in the way that you think. And so what you are seeing in your day-to-day life is a shift in what you see, okay, and what you experience in your world based on the change that you've made, okay, based on this change, this willingness to let something go and to stop fighting against the grain, you know, stop fighting against what doesn't really belong in your world. Okay. So, you know, don't fight the sunset. It's going to happen anyway, right? It's going to happen whether you like it or not. And hopefully it's continuing to happen here. Okay. So let's move forward here and let's get a challenge that's coming up. Okay. I can see a challenge. Okay. The Magician came up, but also it was paired here with the 10 of Wands and also the 7 of Wands. Okay. What I see here for your challenge is trying. I feel like you know what you want and where you want to go. You know that you are capable. Okay. Again, you've been changing these thoughts around in your mind. You've been making sure that you're very, very clear and concise with what it is that you are trying to build or what it is you're trying to create and manifest in your world. You know you're capable of doing it. But what's weighing heavily, what's the most challenging thing for you right now is other people's bullshit. I'm just going to put it that way. It's mostly like other people's opinions or other people's what they're going to say. I feel like I'm not trying to be accusatory, but from this energy, it looks like you care too much. There's not enough I don't give a fuck energy here for you. There needs to be more. We need to nurture that energy, okay? Because I feel like there's something, there might be just one person, okay? They could be an Aries, don't have to be, but we have the Magician. There's one person in particular who you really care about what they think about you. Okay. Now it could be a boss or a mentor or somebody like you look up to or a partner or someone, anyone, whatever, family member. But it's like, I really dread having to tell this one person what I'm doing, or I really dread, it's really just weighing very heavily on your mind. I feel like you're working up a defense for yourself or some type of strategy. There's somebody here that you're almost like, I don't want them to find out. I don't want them to know. How am I going to tell them? How am I going to, you feel like you might let this person down, or this person might be very disappointed in you. I want to get some advice for you because this is the challenge, right? The advice is obviously to hold your ground and stand firm and stand, you know, firm on your belief. If you're doing what's right and what's good for you and what's going to make you happy. But there's always going to be one person, right? I feel like there's always going to be one person. Let me get some advice for you because it's like you're really holding back, you know, telling someone here. We have the Queen of Cups. We also have Strength. Okay, for your advice. I feel like whoever this is, you love them very much, okay? And you have been holding back from expressing your truth to this person or showing up. You know, I feel like you're just being advised here to tap into your strength and know that you can do it. Maybe do it in a more gentle way with the Strength energy here, because we always see them taming the beast, right? Not really unleashing the beast as in like, I'm going to just state we're going to state what's happening here with some tact and some grace and compassion. Okay. We're going to offer compassion to this person because you love this person. You don't want to hurt them. They could be a mother figure or something like that. I am getting strong feminine, like or even like I said, a mentor or a boss or someone like a sister or whatever, who is going to have like a matriarch maybe here. Okay. Who's going to have a very adverse reaction to the path that you're on. Okay. That's how I'm going to put it lightly. Okay. They're not going to like it. And so I feel like you're going to appeal to their feelings or at least have empathy. I feel like whoever this is, they don't understand, right? And it's not their fault. They're just not, they could be somebody who's much older, okay? And maybe just not awakened in a sense for like, I'm not trying to put them down or anything. It's not about that. It's just they don't get it. And so somebody who's like on the outside looking in, again, you have no idea how influential you're going to be and how much you honoring yourself is probably, this is somebody who feels like that has a very old school belief system, is very much engaged in the indoctrination and of like the institutions of society, right? Okay, this is what I'm getting at. I know it sounds heavy, but it's like their morals, their values, they're very much like aligned with like, you have to do this and then you have to do that. It's like going outside of that box or living outside of that box is something that just we do not do in this family, or it's something like that. It's like, well, what are we, maybe it's not you care about what they think, but I feel like they really care about what other people think. Like, whatever. Okay, whatever. It doesn't really matter. You're going to do it anyway, but this is what's coming up as a challenge for you emotionally and just personally, is getting it through to this, telling someone. There's telling this one feminine energy is going to be a challenge. But as long as the advice here is like to continue, don't let it stop you. I don't think you're going to let it stop you. I just feel like offering kindness and compassion, like they don't really, like, put your little kid gloves on when you're speaking to them, because they're not going to really understand. They're not going to really get it. You're going to have to explain it to them. Try to explain yourself to them in a way in which doesn't cause them to be defensive. So it could be like, okay, well, times have changed. It's not like that anymore. You can be more understanding. Like, I know things when you were my age were a little bit different. But I'm choosing this for myself, and we're allowed to do that kind of thing now. Like, I don't know why I'm getting like an elderly feminine person, just not understanding. But you love them very much. Okay. And so that's like it's almost like, it's, what it's giving. It's like, I'm coming out gay, and my grandma's like a bigoted old lady or something like that, but you love her, but she's not going to understand it. Like, maybe you've had to hide it. Like, it's kind of coming out like that. It's like, she just they don't get it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know why, but I mean, it's not gonna be that for everybody, but it's something that gives off that kind of an energy if like you're gonna get some resistance. And it's not necessarily going to be pleasant. So there's something that needs to come out. Like, you got to get it off your chest. You've got to be able to come out and live your life as what makes you feel happy, what following your joy, following your bliss, right? There's no need to hide, right? Like, this is the energy that you've come into alignment with, right? So you're not going to hide it from anyone, but this one person, okay. It's just weighing heavily on your heart. I can see that coming up. Your advice is to do it anyway, but maybe just wear some little kid gloves. Have some understanding and empathy and compassion for where they're coming from. But then, like, don't back down, right? If you have to say, okay, well, in that situation, okay, well, I'm sorry, Grandma, but like, I won't be coming to your funeral if you can't change your attitude. Like, that kind of a thing. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. This is the way I choose to live. This is my life, right? I'm living in alignment with what makes sense to me. Okay. And Ace of Pentacles, it's a new beginning. You're taking yourself so seriously. This is a new venture. Again, it's the dawn of a new era for you in your life. And it's like, you can look forward to beautiful, abundant blessings coming into your world and coming in quick. So I feel like, I know we spent a little bit of time on that challenge and like, I was trying to relay how difficult it is, or it feels, or it will be, whatever, in coming out to this one person, maybe even spiritually, right? It doesn't have to be with your sexuality or anything. That was just an example, but even myself, I can relate in that sense. Like, I had to come out to a very religious, like, or Christian, whatever, family. I grew up going to church every Sunday and Baptist, right? That I am a tarot reader, and tarot readers, I'm not doing the devil's work. Like, I still actually struggle with that with Wild's father side of the family, in a sense. Like, they do not like what I do. They do not. No. But I mean, it is what it is. So there's like a lack of understanding, right? There's a lack of understanding, and there's an almost it's a narrow-minded mindset, right? Like, somebody here is so firm on their beliefs that they're not going to really get it, and they're going to think that what you're doing is wrong, right? But you know what? It is what it is. So you're basically coming to this point and saying, like, you accept it or you don't, because either way, I'm moving forward, and I'm going after what it is that I'm like this. I'm going after it anyway. So, like, it's not that you care about them because you love them. You can still have like different feelings, right? Like, it's not just black and white. There's a gray area. You love this person. You don't want them to have these opinions or to be so narrow-minded about what it is that you're doing. But it's kind of like, it is what it is, right? So I know I spent a lot of time on that, but that is what's coming up here as the biggest challenge. And I mean, you're going to do it anyway. And I don't feel like, I feel like where you're headed is abundance and success. Okay, victory, I see here very strongly here for you. And if they're part of what has to set in your life, if that's part of, an era, okay, well, sorry, grandma, I guess, the sun's setting on our relationship, if you can't get on board. I know it sounds harsh, but it is what it is, right? Because you are in alignment with where you're supposed to be, and people who aren't celebrating you and people who aren't on your team, cheering you on, they don't really deserve a place in your life. I got to be honest with you. Nobody has time for that anymore. We don't have to appease others. Like, the times have changed. People are wising up to, we don't owe anyone anything except for we owe ourselves happiness. I mean, honestly, we owe ourselves happiness. Okay. Because if everybody just, anyway, I'm not saying you have to be selfish. There's a fine line. We're taught that putting ourselves first is a selfish thing, but it's really, truly not. It's really, truly not. Okay. Honor thyself. Okay. Okay. Honor thyself. And that's what you're doing. And I'm very proud of you for doing that. I just want to go ahead and get you goddess guidance and then an affirmation. Then we'll close out the reading. We have half for receptivity. Okay. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. Okay. You are allowing yourself to receive this time. It's like you're allowing yourself to be happy. And this is good. It's going to increase your intuition, energy, ability to give to others. I kind of want to go back real quick and just say, don't forget that the influence you have on not just this one person, but on people in general, to see someone actually doing what you're doing, or, going after what it is, or coming out of the spiritual closet, or, with your sexuality, or whatever it ends up being. Okay. Even if it's just a career, or I want to live in a different country, or, whatever it is, right? You are having a profound influence on others. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean like you're a freaking influencer, just you are in your world. Okay. And I love the affirmation that came through for this reading, because this is what it's about. Freedom is my divine right. Okay. And state it with freaking purpose. Freedom is my divine right. Okay. I am free to think wonderful thoughts, right? I move beyond past limitations into freedom. Okay. I am now becoming all that I am created to be, right? And if you're not on my team, then F off, Linda, I'm sorry if your name's Linda, but it just made me think of my girl, Kelly, I don't know. Listen, Linda, okay? Listen, Linda, just freedom's your divine right. You do what you do, boo, okay? That's it. If people don't like it, they can hit the road. Okay, they can hit the road. And that's the nicest thing I can say. Anyways, I'm sending lots of love. I hope this has been, of help in some type of way. And I will be back, okay? I'm going to do my best and get back on track here with y'all. Sending lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye.
She said she was beautiful.